Bentornati! Welcome back to Dwarf Fortress. The date is the 13th of Malachite, so it's midsummer in the year 250, and the 7 dwarves, known as the High Standards, are working hard to lay the foundation of Glimmerhall, the Gilded Jewel. Right before we left at the end of the last episode, our fortress leader and manager, Dobar Imushvesh, had ordered the construction of stone blocks and wooden bins. So, at some point, bins will be made, dwarves will automatically realize that some of these stockpiles have no bins on them, and they will then move the bins in the stockpile and move the goods. Look at that, look at that. That already happened. Somebody just went ahead and collected a bunch of rock blocks in a bin. Now where's that bin? There it is! There it is, avocado wood bin. It's even a good bin. Look at that. It's good quality. Let's look at it. A bin is a container for storage of ammunition, armor and weapons, bars, blocks, cloth and leather, etc, etc, etc. Let's view the description. This is a superior quality avocado wood bin. The number 6 probably means that there's 6 items in there. I don't see what's inside. Oh no, the 6, it's because it's on the bars and blocks stockpile number 6, maybe? Okay, that dwarves have... This dwarf, you dwarf, what are you doing? Lolor, let's look at your inventory. You are hauling several shale blocks. Wow, you are holding a lot of shale blocks. You're really strong. You are storing items in a bin. Oh, you're putting them in here. Because this stockpile here is just a generic bars and blocks. So, yeah, whatevs. It's okay. I don't care for now. Blocks stored in here are totally okay. Now, why do I also want bars and blocks? Because I will also at some point make sure that people just don't get in here by just jumping down. I want walls around this, and those walls could maybe also at some point mean that there's a structure over it. We could make a dome. You have struck rose quartz. Where? A. Z for zoom. In here we have rose quartz. Nice. Okay, so all the stuff in the soil layer must have been dug out entirely, because now the dwarves have moved in here, which is great. So while they mine in here, let's go back to F2, yes, F2, because this is the kitchen area. Let's start making that, okay? A build workshop. I think it's Z. Z is kitchen. Yes. Let's have the kitchen right here. Kitchen. Let's make this kitchen nice. So let's make it out of blocks. So these are all the items we can make it out of. Is there a way to search in here? I don't think there is. There's a way to expand and contract to see each item like singularly. That doesn't help. Oh, look, I went minus to get to the bottom of the list, and shale blocks are in there. So let's use 1 shale block to build this kitchen. A kitchen made of blocks is nicer. It's worth more than a kitchen made of just a rough boulder, for example. Then let's also L for a still. Let's have a still in here again, made out of shale blocks. Nice. So the dwarves are gonna rush in and do that. Let's move all our food downstairs. Food and drinks for now. So let's have a main food stockpile. So ask, P for stockpile, F for food stockpile. Let's say that this, for now, it's our main food stockpile. This is gonna have everything, but there's something I do not want in here. I don't want seeds in here for now. So, settings, food. It's gonna have all this stuff. It's gonna also have prepared food, if any, but it's not gonna have seeds. So let's get in here and say forbid. All the seeds are forbidden because I want the seeds to go somewhere else. I want the seeds to be in here, very, very close to the farms. Let's make the farm plots. B for build, P for farm plot. I need to move this cursor around, and then I need to say how big is gonna be this single farm plot I want. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 3 by 2, and I'm gonna use, as it says in here, K and H changes the width, U and M changes the height. In here 1, then again P, U, K, enter. P, U, K, enter. P, U, K, enter. 4 farm plots. This is important because it allows us to have more wiggle room in deciding what do we want our dwarves to plant season by season. Okay, so we could have a season entirely on plump helmets, or a season that is 3/4 pigtails and 1/4 dimple cups, or something like that, right? Now let's have a stockpile for the seeds that we want close by. So I need to make a food stockpile to begin with. I'm gonna say that this is a stockpile, but then I'm gonna do X and I'm gonna free the middle portion here. This is still one stockpile though. Q. Something important for a seeds stockpile, I don't want any barrels in it. So, capital E sets max barrels at 0. By the way, E and R like go 1 by 1, but capitals go up to maximum or to 0. Okay, good. So this is going to be a seed stockpile. Seeds are not going to be in here, they're going to be in here, they're not going to be in barrels. The reason for that, since I'm explaining stuff, is that dwarves, when using items from a container, they will pick up the entire container. So when a dwarf wants to plant something, they're gonna pick up the container. If the container is the barrel, a barrel can have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of seeds in it. Basically, they are gonna make all those seeds unavailable for everybody else. If instead we said no barrels, the seeds are gonna be in bags instead. Still, a bag can have a lot of seeds, but at the very least, dwarves will not mix different types of seeds in the same bag, at the very least. Whereas in barrels, they will basically put bags of seeds inside the barrel, which makes it a nightmare to control. Okay, so no barrels in the seeds stockpile. Okay, who's this? Who are you? Stop. Lolor the planter. You are now building, construct building. You are preparing the farm plot, basically. That's amazing. Thank you for your hard work. There you go. Let's set up our first harvest. Well, first you saw. Is it saw? To plant? You rip what you saw, right? Yeah, I think. Maybe. Well, first let's decide which seeds we want to put in the soil. Let's put it like that, because that, you know, there's no argument about it. Okay. A, B, C, D means spring, summer, autumn, winter. Let's start from spring. In spring, in here we want to have Let's have a good spread. Let's have... I want sweet pods. Spring. Sweet pods. And here I want to have, in spring, I want to have quarry bushes. And in here I want to have quarry bushes. Yes. Now, plump helmets are really important, but in the winter, we're gonna only farm plump helmets. Then, in the summer, I'm gonna have cave wheat in here. Cave wheat, pigtails. In the autumn, these two are still gonna be pigtails. Pigtails is very important for the clothing industry. Autumn. For now, autumn is gonna be plump helmets. Plump helmets. I think we will have more than enough because again, in the winter, it's gonna be all plump helmets. But you know, plump helmets are booze. And booze is important for dwarves. If you run out of booze, you're gonna have a hard time. Well, your dwarves are gonna have a hard time. You're gonna be sad. Okay, we're still paused. Our still and our kitchen are made. Let's try and set up. Okay, this is gonna be difficult now. Now we're definitely getting in the weeds. Haha. The weeds that we turn into food or booze. It was not intended and it wasn't even remotely good. But what I want to have near this still is, for sure, an output stockpile for the stuff for the stuff that comes out. So P for stockpile, F for food stockpile. This. Now immediately Q for the settings, and we say only, so A will take from links only as opposed to anywhere. Then take from a pile or workshop, take from this. Now let's also give names to stuff. This is the still. Well, the still already has a name. It's a still. This Control N. This is the still output. There you go. That way we recognize it. This one, this is food stockpile number 9 right now. That's not good enough. This is the seed stockpile. So Control N, seeds. There you go. Well, seeds pile. It's a pile of seeds. Now, what do I want? What else do I want close as to the still as an input? Well, mainly plump helmets, right? Eventually I'm gonna want to make booze out of a bunch of different things. But for now, mainly plump helmets. And especially plump helmets because I don't want plump helmets to be used for anything else. So that is also why. So P, let's make a stockpile, food, F. It's this, then Q for settings. You can have barrels there, sure. S for settings. Food, not just any food. First of all, U to deselect prepared food. I do not want prepared food in here. I don't want any meat or fish or unprepared fish or eggs. I do want plants, but I only want one type of plants. So for now, I'll just deselect everything. I go back to plants, and in here I press S for search. You can only search in here if you have DF hack, and you only have DF hack if you start it. Well, not really, but the easiest way to have DF hack is if you launch the game with the lazy new pack. And this is really useful. Searching in here, search for plump helmet, and then I only select that. By the way, plump helmet would be in the nth page, second to last page. Okay, so only plump helmets get in here. And important, G for give. So G to set the stockpile to give to the still. That way dwarves will not go just anywhere to grab plants to turn into booze. To brew, I should say. Let's give it a name. Control N. Still. Input. Nice. So the still is almost ready. There's another thing I want to do. Another stockpile. B. U. For furniture. Because I want barrels to be close by. Okay, so both left and right. This is another stockpile. Let's give it a name. Control N. Still barrels. Okay. Still barrels. And S for settings. Furniture. Type. Forbid everything, but select search for barrels. Something else is also large pots food storage, because if you make a pot out of stone or glazed clay, you can use that to store liquids. So these are the two types of items that we can have in here. No floodgates, no traction benches, but only barrels and large pots or food storage. The material, stone or clay, yes. Metal, yes. Other materials, yes. Yes, pretty much everything. I'm just gonna say that the types are gonna be restricted. Now to speed up this, like the movement of barrels down here, I can do this trick. I can say take from, and we go upstairs, and this is a food, not a food, a furniture stockpile, and I say take from here. Okay, that was a bunch of stuff. Let's unpause. Let's look at the dwarves for a second. So they are moving food down here. This is a dwarven ale barrel, dwarven wine, spice, ashen barrel, so this is, there's nothing in it. Fish barrel. These are seeds, sweet pot seeds, grape seeds. This guy is planting. English, more grape seeds. A bag of plump helmet spawn. This is a fungi wood barrel. What was that? Stop. A. Lolor, planter. Cancels plant seeds. Need pigtail seeds. Most probably, we do have pigtail seeds, but they were in transit. Right now there's probably a dwarf with a bag of seeds in his inventory, and that's why the planter says, I can't access the seeds. It's not it. Oh look, there's barrels. There's barrels in here. Amazing. I think I also need to say give to the still. Otherwise, a brewer would not know where to get stuff. I still need those pigtail seeds. Eventually they are gonna get them, don't worry. Pigtail seeds are gonna arrive. These are pigtail seeds, see? Now pigtail seeds are available. And now Lolor can plant pigtails. Yay, amazing. Now, we have a still. Let's try and use it. How many drinks do we have? 25 is less than the 30 something we had. Let's get in here and manually say to the dwarves, hey, I don't have available brew, because most probably the plump helmets were not moved yet. There's just a barrel here, but there is a plump helmet barrel somewhere around here. You know what I need to do? I need to say, hey, it's a general food stockpile. So I need to say this stockpile, the still input, needs to take from the generic food stockpile. And unpause. And now somebody is probably, at some point, it's gonna realize that there's plump helmets in here. Yes, my hero, Ustuth. He's moving a persimmon wood barrel. This persimmon wood barrel has 10 plump helmets in it. Now that that was moved and it's available, I can now go to the still, do A, brew drinks from plants. Do that on repeat or until you run out of materials. I pressed R to set it on repeat. Now let's see. Where's my brewer? Is it you? Kogan? Oh, Kogan. Yes, brew drink from plant. Do it. Kogan is brewing everything. Let's look at this. There is a dwarven wine barrel ready. Dwarven wine barrel. Let's look at the description. This is a dwarven wine barrel made of larch. And there's dwarven wine inside. Using plus or minus, as you can see, I can select the dwarven wine. I can press enter and see that this is dwarven wine. It's a stack of 25 dwarven wine. I can see the description. This is a stack of 25 dwarven wine. Unfortunately, there's no additional description to it. I would love if at some point they also implemented stuff like, yeah, this vintage was brewed in the year blah blah by this guy. Oh, and see, like the seeds. Look, plump helmet spawn resulted from there. They are putting that in the food stockpile, and then from the food stockpile again in a plump helmet spawn bag. So this industry is already working.
I'm here to move in with my successful dwarven son. Ach no, Mom, no.
Wow, words do travel fast in this world. Already, dwarves from somewhere else heard that we were digging a large hole in the ground and that we were making booze in there. And they said, you know what? We like these high standards of Glimmerhall. Even though for now it's just a hole and there's no glimmer to it. But we believe in this project and we're gonna go there. So where are you guys? Because, you know, the view doesn't always recenter properly. I can hit tab and look at this very not useful view of the situation. Oh, there they are. I was looking for red spots, by the way. Red spots means there's creatures there. Apparently there's also creatures in here. Maybe there's some flyers, some... Oh, look, yeah. What is this? Who are you? Open space. A peregrine falcon. Oh, great. Oh, look, there's the trick. You go up in the air with the view, and then, you know, this now represents, you know, some form of units, some creatures. And these creatures are our dwarves, our migrants. Let's go back down. There they are. So, I have to unpause to let them through. Let's unpause and see how many do we have. So, 1, Ilral, a woodcutter. Let's click on him. He's a novice marks dwarf, a dodger, an adequate woodcutter. So he probably has... Oh, he's also a novice ambusher. So I could use him maybe for hunting. Do you have, my friend, a battle axe? Oh yeah, a steel battle axe even. That is amazing. Okay, okay. Labor. Do you have hunting? No, you have animal training enabled. It's okay. So don't do hunting without me saying so first. Then there is a poult named Kubuk Old Squash. This adorable animal can't work. It's Ilral's pet. Then we have Ficod or Ficod. I actually like to read dwarven names in a more, let's say, Latin/Italian fashion. So I like to say Ficod instead of Ficod. Mind Judge is a competent hammer dwarf. And shield user, armor user, observer dodger, an adequate miner, miller, grower, and soaper. This guy can do a lot of things. Adequate miner. Do you have what are you? You have a bronze pick. Good. So you will help with mining, which is something that we need. Very, very good. What is this? A pangolin. I don't think it went or it came with. No, it definitely didn't. Then another Ilral. Ilral Tashem Solon. Wait a second. His name is flashing. No, wait. Is everybody's name flashing? No. He is. So, a competent axe dwarf, which is good. He's also a wood crafter. Adequate woodcutter, novice fish, dissector, legendary wood crafter. That is why the name was flashing. Ilral, my girl, legendary woodcrafter, migrant. If that is not a sign that Glimmerhall is gonna be great, I don't know what it's gonna be. Okay, amazing. So we already have somebody able to create masterwork crafts. Then we have Errol or Errol Raluthmik. Silver shakes. Oh, silver shakes are good. An adequate animal trainer and not much else. Okay, he doesn't have anything fancy with him. Onget Arrow Freckle. Onget Arrow Freckle is a hunter, really. Arrow Freckle. He or she has a bismuth bronze crossbow. She's just a novice marks dwarf, but an adequate ambusher. Let's do PL hunting related. Let's disable hunting for a second. Do you have by any chances some quarrels? You have shoes, socks, gloves. You have a sheep wool quiver. You have 32 bronze bolts. Please do not hunt with bronze bolts. We'll get to it at some point. We can make either bone or wooden bolts, and we can definitely set it so that hunters use those that are cheaper. But yeah, we can start hunting animals, and we can create a food industry. I mean, food. We already kind of have a food industry. We can create a meat and leather industry out of this. Onget, Arrow Freckle. Amazing. Really. Another one? Oh, wait a second. This is a little bit suspect. Ral Lucian Cotton. wait a second. It also says creator of. Let's enter status. Thoughts and preferences? Wait a second. It was saying somewhere in there, creator of. R? Younger sister of a bunch of people, paternal grandmother of... Oh no, wait. She has. She's the only daughter of Tikkut, and Tirist. Wait. No, she has one daughter. Wait a second, I'm reading this all wrong. She has one daughter called Tikkut. She is not the only daughter, but she's the younger daughter of Tirist and Zas. And she has both paternal and maternal grandparents. She has 4 older sisters. She has aunts. Oh, she has younger half brothers and sisters. She has uncles. She has nieces, nephews, cousins. Pretty big family. Good for you. A lot of cousins. A lot of deities. I have never seen a dwarf this connected, which makes me think. Again, a little bit sus. Object of worship. She has apprentices, former apprentices, a former master, and long-term acquaintances. Shift ask back to main. No, this is main here. But wait, if I need to... No, this doesn't work. I need to do something like that. I need to do Z, and I need to zoom out this so that I can have more space to read. It's gonna be hard for you guys, but... No, it's not you. No, it's you. No, that it doesn't change anything. Unfortunately, it does not change anything. Let me zoom in this view again. Okay. Kinda. So again, Z. Stonecrafter. Enter thoughts and preference. Always deal fairly. She's 157 years old. That might be the reason why. She is a mature lady. For dwarven standards. She was born in the year 93 of the current era. She's clean shaven, her hair. She has cobalt eyes, like many of our kind in our civilization. Her hair is white, but her head is shaven. Her skin is cinnamon, her nose bridge is slightly convex. Her flattened ears have great swinging lobes. I'm looking for somewhere where it says what did she craft, because she is the creator of ... something. I just need to find where I can see what she created, which must be either a book or an artifact. I need to scour the wiki for a second. Alright, so I still don't know how to get to this creator of. However, let's dig in a little bit more in this like strange dwarf lady, Ral, enchanneled. So she's a legendary stonecrafter, which is amazing. She's a legendary mechanic, so she's gonna be extremely quickly in setting up contraptions. She's a professional optic engineer, which I have no idea how to use. I don't think there's anything you can do right now in Dwarf Fortress that uses optics engineering, apart from probably writing books about it. So she can probably write books that are gonna be worth thousands of dwarf bucks. She's a legendary fluid engineer, again, something that is probably only used in the Passage of Knowledge. A legendary student, of course, a novice wordsmith, an expert writer, see? So she writes books. That must be it. She is the creator of several tomes. She's a legendary reader, a master teacher, and she knows some forms of poetry, of music, and dances. Now, this would lead me to believe that this person, that Ral is a scholar. We attracted, already at this stage, we already attracted a famous, a legendary scholar, right? Now, look at this though. Like, this fortress has just started. Nobody has created a masterwork, let alone an artifact in here. Now, if I press Shift L, I'll take a look at all the artifacts in this fortress. Now look at what happens. Shift L. Kitidor, the Scare's Howl, a indigo tourmaline ring. So this is an artifact worth 70,000 dwarf bucks. There's a description. This is a indigo tourmaline ring. All craftsmanship. Wait, craftsmanship? Why does it say craftsmanship? It should say craftdwarfship. This is so weird. I mean, this might very well be just a bug, but this is the most intrigued I've been in reading something in Dwarf Fortress in a long while. Why do we have information about this indigo tourmaline ring that it seems it would be created by a human? By the way, it is encircled with bands of grizzly bear tooth and menaces with spikes of morganite. Now, an object that menaces with spikes, that is usually an ornament preferred by dwarves. Okay? Encircled with bands is usually like a very generic thing. Hanging rings are preferred by elves, but an object that menaces with spikes, that by the way could just be like diamond shapes on top of it. They don't need to be dangerous spikes. That's a typically dwarven ornament. On the item is an image of octagon cut gems in helmet snake bone. Again, images of gems. So this ring, it's very much in the style of a dwarven artifact, okay? And we can get this by the choices of ornaments and images. But for some reason it says all craftsmanship, where it should say all craftdwarfship, because it would be created by a craft dwarf, right? Huh. Intriguing. And by the way, this is not in anybody's inventory that I could see. Not in her inventory. She's got trousers, a dress, a robe, badger leather cap. By the way, I'm paused. There might very well be another dwarf that has this ring coming through. More dwarves. Is any of you the owner of this ring? You have a battle axe, you're a woodcutter, Mincot. Mine breached. Please don't breach anything in particular. No, it's not you. This guy has bracelets, a crown, giant raccoon tooth crown, a panda bone earring. Okay. Amulet, a ring, socks and shoes. He's got a crown, a giant raccoon tooth crown. Well crafted. You're a spinner by trade, but you're a skilled axe dwarf. Competent shield user. Like, we are getting the most incredible people in here. You know, dances and stuff. Is that all? That is all. Nobody had that ring on them. What is this? Oh right, the quiver, the bolt, and the crossbow were left there on the ground because I asked that dwarf not to hunt for a second. If I press Shift L again, the thing is, I can't zoom on this kitty door. If I look at the stocks, Z, stocks, that is a ring, right? I need to go at R. Raw fish, rings, an indigo tourmaline ring. I cannot view, I can't do V for view. What if I hit tab? It definitely shows that this is kitty door. Can I view now? Yes. So it's in the fortress. I mean, it's in the area. It's counted as being present. But I cannot zoom on it. I'm not sure if there is actually a mechanic where this thing might be kept secret. Like, for some reason we know of its presence. Like, there's a rumor, but nobody like came out and said, yes, I have this. And it's in here. So we know that the artifact ring kitty door is here. We don't know exactly where, because normally I would be able to hit Z for zoom. Now look, if I instead select this panda tooth ring, I can press Z and the cursor goes on top of Edsel, the spinner with a crown of tooth and also rings. Wow, this is super interesting. We got incredibly interesting dwarves joining us, joining the high standards, and boy, our standards now are higher than ever. We don't have lodging right now for everybody, and we might need to scale up our, maybe, well, with booze we're probably there because we were making some wine, so we have 72 drinks, so these guys will have plenty to drink. However, they'll find that we are still all bunched up in a small cabin in the woods, and we're just digging, you know. We started, we have a working still, which is probably what got everybody very excited. We dug a bunch, and we have some space in here to start setting up 4 workshops already. I'm thinking, starting from the next episode, I'm gonna have to start digging down, and at the very least, I'm gonna have to start thinking about making rooms for everybody. And since I already have, what is it, like 2 or 3 legendary dwarves? 2. The thing is though, some of them are legendary in more than one thing. Who was it? Ral. Ral. Where are you? View unit. Yeah, legendary stonecrafter and mechanic. So stonecrafter is something that I can use. So Ral, and the other one is, there she is, Ilral, the legendary woodcrafter. Wow, we will have stuff to sell comes autumn, when the dwarven caravan arrives. This will all have to wait though, as these dwarves need to settle in, they need to meet their new companions and neighbors. And our manager, Dobar, needs to probably have a good chat with everybody and assign tasks, because dwarf don't really like, having nothing to do, so there's a lot to do for Dobar, which is basically me. And we need to establish industries, and we need to set everybody so that they are comfortable and they all have their own bed, which is the most important thing. And maybe also a slightly larger place to gather would be nice. Even though, if I look at anybody right now, like not a straight talking hand, but Kogan, let's say Kogan, what are you thinking, Kogan, right now? Before we leave, what are your thoughts? What do you want to say, all our fans? Don't get on my bad side. Okay, Kogan. Now within the last season, Kogan felt euphoric due to inebriation, which is good. He felt fondness talking with a friend, which is good. Satisfied at work. However, right before that, he was bored after being unable to practice a craft for too long. So, yeah, see? Everybody needs to stay active. Interested near a fine table, interested near a fine seat. Annoyed dwelling upon having a drink without using a goblet. He's still attached to that. I mean, we have goblets, come on. You drunk without a goblet for like what, twice? But then again, fondness talking with a friend, interested remembering a fine table, interested near a fine table, interested near a fine table, interested near a fine seat, interested near a fine bed, interested near a fine furnace. I mean, the standards are already kinda high. I mean, we have fine beds and tables and seats and workshops. So I think we're gonna do alright, okay? And we'll make sure not to get on Kogan's bad side. Alright, that said, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next episode. Otherwise, Kogan might want to have a word or two with you. Alla prossima!